Hey, what's up? Serpentine here, taking a look at the action RPG slash MOBA Dead Island Epidemic, developed by Stunlock Studios, who have experience in the genre with their previous title Bloodline Champions. While the MOBA genre is being oversaturated with everyone and their mother trying to cash in on the genre hit, Epidemic provides something different and refreshing, and definitely does stick out from the crowd. Epidemic has two main modes currently available, one being a PvE mode and the other a PvP mode. Through the tutorial missions you'll be introduced to the PvE mode called Crossroads first, which has a team of 4 players working together to complete 4 randomly selected objectives. These objectives include things like defeating a boss zombie or destroying a certain object. Each objective has certain goals that you can reach and will offer you a gold, silver or bronze rank accordingly. Your team's ranking will affect the rewards you receive at the end of the game, which consists of raw materials and in-game currency. With more materials, currency and higher probability of unlocking a blueprint, the higher you rank. The amount of scavenged supplies will also affect your overall rewards at the end of the game, so it does pay to gather all supplies and make sure they all manage to get back to the base. While the PvE mode is a nice addition to the overall package that is Dead Island Epidemic, it does still need some work on its mission diversity. However, due to the mission's random nature, it does make sense why they are a little limited in their options, and why it consists mostly of large zombie horde fights. Saying that, the mode does still present a challenge in its high difficulty modes, and will require a great amount of teamwork. The mode reminded me a lot of Left 4 Dead, only it's being played in an isometric view. The main draw of the game, however, is the multiplayer capture the point mode called Scavenger, where 3 teams of 4 head into an arena to fight for precious supplies. There are multiple ways to gain these supplies, but the most profitable way is to kill the mini-boss zombies that are spawned randomly on the map. Killing one of these guys will have supply crates flying everywhere, like you've just popped open a piñata, but just because you killed the boss doesn't mean the loot is all yours. If you're not careful, the enemy teams can come in and take your supplies for themselves after you've been weakened by the boss. Alternatively, you can go around the map capturing the points and receiving the supply that drops from completing a cap. While it's not a lot of supply, it will also give you a tactical advantage with sight around the point alerting you to the enemy's movement. While you're attempting a cap, you will have to face multiple hordes of zombies, so working together with someone else on your team is strongly advised. And being such a team-based mode, if even one of your team members disconnects or goes AFK, it will be incredibly hard for your team to do anything without being overwhelmed by the enemy's team. The controls of the game are WASD based movement with 4 activatable abilities that can be bound to whichever keys you wish. Your mouse acts as the reticule for your melee and ranged basic attacks, and yes, each character has both a ranged and melee basic attack. These attacks are dependent on the weapons that you equip outside of the game, and you have a choice between a range of different weapons from shotguns, rifles and pistols to pans, paddles and brass knuckles. Each weapon has a different set of stats associated to them, so matching them with your chosen character is a must to be as powerful as you can possibly be. Epidemic does have quite a large grind to get to max level, and to unlock all your character's skills, passives, gadgets and extra item slots. Something that is comparable to the League of Legends grind to level 30. At the higher levels you will also gain access to better and more unique looking weapons. Obtaining these weapons can happen in 2 different ways. You can either receive their blueprints from endgame drops, which will then need to be taken to the workbench to craft out of raw materials, which are also gained from endgame rewards. These blueprints will drop quite frequently, especially if you manage to earn one of the 3 medals in Scavenger mode, or if you receive a high medal tally in the Crossroads game mode. Alternatively, you can purchase both built and blueprinted guns from the in-game store. Pre-built guns will require you to use the game's real money currency, whereas the blueprints can be purchased with one of the game's free currencies. Yes, there are 2 different in-game currencies, in what seems to be a way to balance character purchases and other item purchases, as you receive way more of the item currency than the character currency. Characters, gadgets, consumables, and modifications can all be bought with either real-world currency or with the in-game currencies. A character's skill set will reflect their given roles, of which there are the usual suspects from the MOBA genre, with tanks, damage dealers, supports, and more. Each character has 3 variations and their own unique skill sets. You have a survivor version, a mutated version, and an armored version, and each variation is skilled at doing a certain thing. For example, the mutated version is more focused on melee combat with poisons, while the armored version is suited more towards tanking for the team, and this brings up my next point. The game provides no way to strategically build your team to create a well-balanced team composition. You simply select the character you want to play and head into matchmaking. This causes a couple of competitive problems, like having 3 CCing tanks for one team. I hope that this issue is fixed soon, and if the game wants to be taken seriously in the competitive scene. Dead Island Epidemic is a refreshing take on the MOBA genre. Fighting zombies in the game is quite a lot of fun, and a great departure from the single minion or creep waves in other MOBAs, providing a constant danger rather than something just to be farmed. The unique zombies only add to this and reminded me of the unique zombies in Left 4 Dead, and how quickly they can change the tide of battle. The level grind does need to be softened a little bit, so it doesn't take forever to get your character working fully as intended. I like to see how Epidemic would handle a defend and destroy type game mode, and how the zombie hordes would be used in such a game mode, but as it stands, the game is incredibly fun. That's been my player preview for Dead Island Epidemic. The game is currently in open beta and available on Steam. Let me know what you think of the game, and I'll see you guys next time.